WCPT Willow Springs and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
How do you describe quality of life? For most of us, it's about health, people we love, and peace of mind. Quality of Life Insurance is modern, affordable life insurance that works harder for you. It's there for your family if you die, but it can also provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle. Quality of Life Insurance even gives you options to build cash value for a more secure retirement. You've worked hard to attain your quality of life. We work hard to help you protect it.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
Hey, Family Meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon Family Meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the Family Meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, thefamilymeeting.com, and click on the link.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you, whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
You better call Darnell.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
I think you better call Darnell.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Darnell.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Darnell.
That's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now, 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
Hi, Ken Brown, KenBrownInternational.com. I listen to the Family Meeting.
Hello, this is Kevin Pitts of Performance Consulting Group, and that is performanceconsultinggrp.com. And I will always listen to the Family Meeting.
Welcome to the worldwide headquarters of the Family Meeting. You didn't hear any reverb today because the black Asian dude is out on the lam today. But, you know who is here, though? That's right, Tressa's here. Straight out of Mississippi. What's up, girl?
Well, hello, Mr. Eric. How are you?
All right, sit tight. You know how this works now. Grab your phones, find us on social media, like, subscribe, and follow on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, because that's where we are when we're not here. And that's where the conversation continues, but you also can find us on our webpage, tfmradioshow.com, tfmradioshow.com. You'll find archived broadcast, that music playlist that keeps Tressa going in Mississippi, and live video of this broadcast going on right there, right now. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, though, too. That's important. In the space shuttle cockpit controlling everything is our white slave. That would be Devin. Our other white slave, Paul, is bouncing around here somewhere. Tressa, how you doing, girl?
You know, I am well.
That's right.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting ready to tell people that they can become a patron of our broadcast by visiting that website, tfmradioshow.com. Click that Become a Patron button. You know how that works.
For as little as $5.
$5. Do the identity guard thing for me, will you?
Identity guard.
That's right. She's back, y'all. She's back. The number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. Okay, Tressa, before we get into this week's news, and you know what it is, tell us how things are going in Mississippi.
Well, as you know, my father passed at the end of January 30th. And I'm just I'm just here still navigating through his estate, dealing with some property, air issues. So, yeah, life is great.
In Mississippi, of all places, right?
In Mississippi, yeah.
Ooh,
like I told you last night, I said it was great here last night. I could see all the stars, even the fake ones that Elon Musk put up there. You know, you realize we are probably the last generation to see a true sky.
What's that mean? What do you mean?
That means, okay, you didn't know that Elon Musk launched a bunch of satellites that look like stars probably about a year or so ago, I want to say. It may not have been that long. But so some of the twinklings that you see in the sky at night are not stars. They're satellites that he launched. So once he did that, the sky is no longer true and genuine anymore.
So it's clear to me now that Mississippi has left you with a lot of time on your hands.
A lot of time.
To have little tidbits of information like that did nobody know but you.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I had no idea. I don't know that I've generated enough interest at this point to even care.
Well, don't you look up at the stars at night?
No.
Didn't you have to do that when you were in school? Like tell you what a North Star is, the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper?
No, I look where I'm going. I don't look up in the sky like that. I try to figure out where I'm going.
All right, all right. That must be a woman thing, because, you know, when you're in love, you look up at the stars.
Well, you know, the other thing is there is the matter of light pollution in Chicago. You can't see stars in Chicago. It's too much light pollution.
Well, yeah.
Maybe out in the far-flung suburbs you can see some, but it ain't like what you see out there in the woods. No,
well, that's true.
We got light pollution in my community too.
I get what you're saying, and you are absolutely right about that, because, man, it gets blue, black, dark down here.
Yeah, you can have that too, man. I don't want to be out there like that with these people, man.
So what's been going on with you?
Well, you know how it is, man. Once again, the country is nipping at the edges of a really, really wide problem. Yeah. You know, just not really dealing with the problem. And this is, listen, you're not going to like this. This is the Democrats' fault. Let me tell you why I say that. Because I heard your boy, Dick Durbin, on the news yesterday and today. And his words were, well, I hope they come around this time.
Yeah, I'm so sick of the politician. The politician. I'm sick and tired of the politician playing those political games with our lives. It's our lives. It's not just the children's. It's our lives. I'm tired of it. I'm ready, like you. Just burn this mother down.
Done with
Burn
it.
it down.
It doesn't work like it is. It doesn't. I mean, what species on Earth, what mammal on Earth sacrifices their youth like we do? And we're sacrificing our youth so that some hillbilly can own a gun. I mean, so listen, we have to eliminate the people from the conversation. Those who somehow or another can't understand that it is a wide problem, that it is a problem that requires multifaceted response and quickly, because right now, somebody is plotting to do the same thing. We know it's... Look, do me a favor. If you're listening to us right now, the next time you drive by your local elementary school, think about where they should put the memorial. Think about the ideal place for it. Think about that school all of a sudden being on worldwide news with stacks and stacks of flowers and little crosses.
Yeah.
Think about where that goes.
Remember the guy who made all those little crosses? Every single shooting, he'd make all those little crosses. And he was from Aurora. And remember, he said after Las Vegas, that would be his last one. That he couldn't take it anymore. Well, guess what? Here we are yet again. Yet again.
Yeah.
Buffalo was still fresh.
Fresh. Almost forgot about it, didn't you? Almost forgot about it.
No, not me.
Not you. I mean, just those people in general.
Those people, yeah.
It's like a distant memory now.
Yeah, still reeling from Buffalo, and now here we are again.
So the politicians engage in this conversation like somebody's pursuing some sort of an effort to get to zero so it never happens again. And that assertion is as preposterous as the assertions that we should give teachers guns. Yeah. I mean, nobody with any sense expects this to go to zero, but we do expect you to take steps to minimize the opportunity for this. It doesn't make any sense in the world for a civilized society to allow people with mental challenges to have a gun. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And when you don't do the proper checks and balances, when you don't run through those, you know, you got to be. I read a post the other day that says, if I could go buy a long gun when I'm turned 18, but my God, let me go try to buy some Sudafed. I go into a national database. Sudafed. I go into a national database.
Get a gun.
I gotta be
and thousands of bullets.
I gotta be 21 to drink. 21 to drink. Now, to get my driver's license, I've got to go to school. I've got to take driver's ed. I've got to log so many hours before I can even take the test to get my driver's license. Yet the day I turn 18, mentally challenged or not, in certain states in this country, I can walk into a store and buy a military style weapon.
Multiple ones if you'd like.
With rounds to boot. I could do that. I don't get it, E. I don't get it.
Well,
I don't get it. I don't get why they don't see that is a
problem.
problem.
They see. They see. What they've decided is their money's more important than that. That's what they've decided. They see it. But you know what? The money, though. Right? Because here's the other side of this that nobody really wants to talk about. And I really mean that in this case, nobody wants to talk about. It's that age-old question that I've asked many times on this broadcast. That is, what would have to have happened to you for you to decide, you know what, I'm going to go get me a long gun and go shoot up an elementary school? How bad must it have gotten for you to do that? So now you got this poor boy who apparently was bullied, right? And my bet is that our society didn't do anything to help him while he was being bullied. You have his mother who has to deal with the fact that her son did this. Her grandmother, his grandmother, who was shot in the face by him. I mean, so, you know, you may try to blame them and make them, you know, part of what he did, but they're victims too. And they've got to live with this for the rest of their lives now.
Yep.
All because your ass needs to have a person, needs to let some yahoo out in the woods have a gun.
Yeah, see, that's exactly it. We can't, if you will, mitigate or legislate familial problems, family problems, you know, the dynamics that go on inside of a family. That is a whole case in and of itself. But what we can mitigate is the fallout or the within reach of that fallout from that, what happens inside of that family or what happens inside of those situations of bullying and whatever and whatnot. Because we all know that there's going to be, for every action, there's going to be a reaction. We just never know when that reaction is going to be or how that reaction is going to carry out. But we know that just as you and I are sitting here and speaking and talking, we know that for every action, there is a reaction. So when that reaction comes to, oh, gee, I'm going to go get a gun and I'm going to shoot my grandmother in the face, and then I'm going to go to a school and shoot up a school.
Elementary school.
What had to, like you said, what had to happen in that young man's life for him to do that? And then, okay, I get to the school. I'm in the classroom. I done barricade myself. I shoot the first person. This long gun that they use literally rips people apart.
Especially little children.
So you're watching this. You shoot the first person. You know, you're not just spraying because, as we now know, they were hearing intermittent gunfire because he was randomly just taking his time You know, he didn't kill them all at once. He shoot one, then he do a little else, he'd shoot another one. Think about the trauma that those kids will have to live with for the rest of their lives of seeing those images.
Or the fear in their hearts as they died.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And the response, at least politically, is so vile. It's just vile on both sides of the aisle.
It is. It's unconscionable, the responses that you've been getting from these politicians, the words that have been coming out of their mouths. They want to make this about the Second Amendment and a person's right to bear arms, and you know, the Constitution says that you cannot infringe on someone's. We're not talking about infringing on someone's right. We're not taking away a right. We're not taking away your guns. What we're doing is we're taking away the ability for someone who has problems to go and get a gun and shoot and kill somebody.
But see, that's the thing. I don't want to have any kind of a lengthy conversation with anybody about, you know, it's all of the above. It's not, we're not arguing about which one to do. We do it all. Do it all. In fact, I would go as far as to say is if you can't have a cogent argument or discussion about all the things we can do and do all of them, then you need to have your guns taken from you because you're stupid. I mean, because listen, we're at a point now. We have a choice, right? We need to apply the same level of scrutiny that we do to driving a car. We need to have insurance, licensure. We need to have certain level of training. The same thing we do for buying liquor or buying prescription drugs. All those things should apply to you if you want a gun. You need to have insurance. You have to have it.
Yes.
Or listen, if you can't engage in a conversation about all of those, then you should have your guns, all of your guns, taken from you.
Away. Yep.
Because you're too stupid to understand that these little children have their bodies ripped apart by this gun you let that crazy person have.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
I'm not going to have no, don't call here today with none of that. None of that.
Yeah.
This is not the place. There's lots of shows here that you can do that. This is not one of them.
Not this one.
Well, you're going to get smoked today if that happens. You're going to get smoked.
There's a whole lot of people, too, E, that are going to have a reckoning and have to look themselves in the face and should be soul-searching to ask themselves, did I say or do anything to cause this as well? I'm not saying they're to blame, but just like I said, for every action, there's a reaction. And if you say something out of your mouth that is, that insinuates or incites, whether you're getting paid to do it or whether you're on television and, it's just fake news or whatever you want to call it, there's some people that are going to have to do some soul searching around this.
Absolutely. I mean, another part of this was, once again, the culture of policing was exposed, right? They spent a good deal of time meeting and trying to get their lie together about what they did. Right? So, if you don't believe it by now, the culture of police is to lie about what they've done. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Let's have them after an incident, they get together, they meet and talk about the lie.
How they gonna lie? Yep. These colors don't run. Yeah, these colors don't run into a school to save babies. I can tell you that much.
That's not what happened, right? Exactly. That's not what happened in this incident.
But they lied and said that that's what they did initially.
Resource officer, let's wait for the janitor to bring the key. Right? You can't, you find it necessary to kill an unarmed black man because you fear for your life. But you're afraid of an AR-15. I don't understand when you're scared. I don't understand why you're scared. The bravest among us. Many are, but these, I don't know. The number is 773-763-9278. Trust us back, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
They say you're a heartbreaker, you just can't be true.
Nisha K. Brooks, teacher for the great Ann Arbor Public Schools, where Wolverines rule. Keep listening to the family meeting.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors.
ETA Creative Arts Foundation is bringing community back to the community with its Outside the Box social events, starting Monday, November 29th with House Music Mondays, Tuesdays, 1-2 Step, Stepper Set, Wednesdays, Open Mic Night, Thursdays, Karaoke Night, and Friday, All Laughs, No Play comedy series hosted by Comedian Stick. For more information about our weekly series, visit www.etacreativearts.org. That's www.etacreativearts.org.
Hey, this is Brittany Perry. Did you know there's a black-owned footwear brand based here in Chicago? Perry Co. Shoes creates affordable luxury footwear and accessories for both men and women. Whether you're in a suit or out with friends, they provide pieces you can wear on a daily basis. Breaking barriers, inspiring style. Visit www.perrycoshoes.com to purchase a pair today. That's www.perrycoshoes.com.
A toast to the booty. We'll dance to that.
Or how else can you capture a boogie if you don't attack from the back?
To the rear march.
My name is the one some people call me the bone.
My name is the one some people call me the phone.
When I find a vacant booty, I move as hell over.
I'm like a camel, humping the fleas.
I'm up to my bones, yeah.
This is Robert Orr. Welcome back to the family meeting.
So, Tressa, you know Robert had a birthday this week, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Aw, happy birthday. My dog. Hold on. My dog is going crazy. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Dog's going crazy. I sent.
Hold on.
Okay. I sent Robert a text message wishing him happy birthday. Didn't hear back from the boy. Hopefully he's listening now. We can talk about that. The number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. Rich is actually out today because his wife, Ann, she got the COVID. She did. And so he didn't have it. He tested negative. But they're isolating. I think they're just out in the woods playing grab ass, but that's just me. 773-763-9278. So what we're going to do today is we're going to hit the phones as soon as possible just to get that out of the way. Because I want to hear from you guys on this shooting thing. And let me tell you this. This is a problem. I mean, if you watch the media, if you watch the media, I mean, the problem is solely focused on the act itself, and rightfully so. It's a terrible act. But think about all the collateral damage now that this is done. And this is all because you've got a segment of people, a small minority, but loud people in this country who have this thing about guns, that you should be able to be unimpeded from getting these weapons, right? So you got all these children who are in the school. This was the second to last day of school. Think about when you were in elementary school and it's the second to last day of school. Think about when your children were in school. It's the second to last day before summer break, right? And you're not doing much. As I understand, the classroom that he ran into, they were watching some sort of a movie or something, right? You know how the last days of school are. It's just kind of chill, right? Lots of recess, a little bit of fun. They had an honors event earlier that day. Last days of school, looking forward to the summer and whatever activities you had planned for the summer. All turned upside down. Now the front of your school is a garden now, with everybody's name there.
Wow.
But the rest of your lives, now the rest of the community. How are you supposed to move forward knowing this happened, and two, that the people who have a chance to influence this not happening again are not going to do anything? And that includes Democrats. Because when I heard your boy, Dick Durbin, say, we hope they'll come around this time, I thought, what kind of fool are you after seeing the craven and depraved behavior of these people before? We watched them 10 years ago when these same kinds of weapons ripped children apart in Connecticut, and they did nothing. But somehow today, especially given the fact that you don't want to go there, that this was Hispanic children. They have to, my experience with them is that they care even less now because it was Hispanic children. They were probably illegals. You know that's going on.
Some of the residents in that city were saying that they can stop you for the little bittiest thing. The Uvalde Police Department would stop them for the little bittiest things, and it'd be 10 police cars there or whatever it is. But something like this, and you're sitting and you're just waiting.
Too busy trying to arrest and hold back the parents who want to go in and save their children.
Yeah.
Hold them back.
Did you see the interview that, what's his name, on CNN?
Shimon Prokupecz?
The white-haired guy.
Oh,
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper.
Did you see the interview he did with the EMT, the medical?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, Eric. He answered the call for the school, knowing that his child goes to that school. He says he's taking care of a child who's covered in blood, and he's asking her, where are you hurt, where are you hurt? And she says, I'm not hurt, I'm okay, but my friend, he killed my best friend, and he says, oh no, what was your best friend's name? And she says his daughter's name.
Oh my goodness.
That's how he learned that his daughter was one of the victims. Can you imagine?
So now they're just biding time now, hoping that it blows over or that the next one occurs so you forget about this one. That's what they're doing now. I mean, I heard the Democrats earlier talking about it being in negotiations now. What's to negotiate? What are we negotiating?
Yeah, what are we negotiating?
We do this.
What's that conversation going like?
I mean, if this isn't a reason to get rid of the damn filibuster, I can't think of one.
Listen, and then they didn't pass the domestic terrorism bill because it had a clause in there. I think it was something tied to guns. You know, the guy in Buffalo.
We're done with this. You don't negotiate with people like that. What they've proven, who they've proven they are, the people who stand against any gun regulation, who they've proven they are, you can't negotiate with them because this is what's going to happen. They're going to go into their quote-unquote negotiations. They're going to come out with something that Democrats are going to pronounce we've got agreement on, and then they're all going to vote no on it, and it's going to die.
How does an 18-year-old afford two assault rifles? That's what I want to know. How does that even happen?
That too. I mean, right, 'cause there's so many layers to this problem. And they're focusing on the right thing, the children who were murdered, right? But there's so many different levels to deal with, and you've got these imbeciles on both sides of the aisle who can't seem to get anything done to solve this.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about.
And it's going to happen again. They know it. They know it's going to happen again. And they're not going to do anything about it.
It's going to happen again. I mean, we've been having this same conversation, since Columbine. How long ago was Columbine?
I lose track of time now. I lose track. Listen, there's so many of them, I can't even keep track of them anymore. Oh, forgot about that one.
And why is this an American problem.
Uniquely American. Uniquely American. The quote-unquote greatest country on earth can't feed and house all of its veterans and allows children to be mowed down in schools. You can't be the greatest and you do that. You can't be. You can't. You just can't.
I mean, because if that's the resume you want to stand on.
Unless you think you're the greatest because that happens. And that's even more twisted.
That's even, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That's even more jacked up. But just, I don't understand, and I know I'm grasping at straws here. I don't understand how anyone can sit and say with a straight face that we're going to hope they're going to come around this time. How does that even happen?
That disqualifies Dick Durbin for me. That disqualifies him.
Yeah. If I were president, the executive bill would have been signed the next morning. Let them litigate that stuff in the courts and let them shoot it down. And then come back again and I'll do it all over again.
That's right.
And we can relitigate this stuff again. But as long as my executive order is standing, ain't nothing nobody can do.
Yeah, he should steal his spine. I'm disappointed in your boy too, Uncle Joe, because you got to. I don't want you walking him down. You should have signed some papers before you took your ass down there to Texas to mourn those people. Don't show up until you've done something about this.
Yeah, because my thing is this. He's seen he's watched it his entire career, just like all of these other ones have watched it their entire career. The Republicans aren't going to move on anything that refers to any type of gun legislation. Nothing.
They're going to lie to you, in fact, about being willing to support something. They're going to lie to you about it.
And then Joe Manchin is going to sit right there with them and be like, no, my West Virginian constituents need their guns, and no, I can't do this. And, it's sad, E. It really is just sad. And I'm telling you, Johannesburg is looking real good right about now. It really is. Y'all think but you know where they don't have school shootings at, E? You want to know where they don't have them at?
Where?
In the hood.
Yeah, we ain't shooting up no schools, man. Don't do that.
We ain't having no schools.
There are things that get shot, but one of them ain't schools.
It won't be no schools. Exactly.
No.
So I don't understand where we go from here. I don't know what the solution is. I'm done with talking.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I do know.
Yeah, you do. Trust it. If you were president, I know it. You'd know what to do. The first thing that would come out of your mouth is, "Oh, hell no."
Oh, hell no.
And then you'd go about the business. We finna end this right now.
Right now. Right now. I say it. Right now. Yep.
And
then, go ahead.
You can't cut it both ways. If you either are about the business of ending it right now, or now I'm gonna wait a little while, let a few more happen before I end it. It's one of the two things.
Yeah, there's components to this that we can do right now today, E, to stop this.
Yeah, at least disrupt it.
They don't have the guts.
Well, I mean, it's Biden, though. It's Biden. He can stroke a pen.
Those cops that stood outside and waited as they randomly heard gunfire and people being killed and the screams and stuff. And the 911
calls. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, how'd that happen? How did the 911 operator not convey what was going on in the classroom to the police officers standing outside in the hallway waiting for the key? Come on, man. How come you didn't go in the windows? Break the windows and go in and get this dude. And listen, Biden can end this right now. It might be illegal as hell what he does. It might be illegal as hell.
It would be.
Hell yeah. But do it, though.
But he can end it. Exactly.
Do it.
I'm telling you, I would do it and just let him legislate it out.
Right, because to not do it means that you let it happen for a little while longer. That's the only two things that could be going on. End it right now. At least, listen, end is probably the wrong word. Disrupt it for a little bit. Disrupt it. Do a really all-encompassing executive order that kills all the ability for people to get them crazy guns. Do it. Let them take it to court on it.
Or at least pass some legislation that says if someone uses your gun that you manufactured, to kill people, then if I make as a chemist, if I make a product, right, that harms someone's skin or someone's body, don't they have a right to sue me? That's my product that they used.
Yeah, but getting legislation done is almost an impossibility right now.
No, I know this, E. I know this, but I'm just trying to put, some onus. Somebody's got to own this, E, and that's the problem that I have. Nobody is owning this.
Yeah, but what I do know is that it needs to be disrupted right now. Somebody needs to step up and do something to disrupt it right now.
Well, until you can't disrupt anyway until you take ownership of it. You can't do anything about it until you take ownership.
That's on Biden's desk. It's right at his desk. He needs to be signing something. It may be illegal.
I agree.
But he needs to do that.
He could do it by executive order and then let them legislate it out, just like he was going to stop a lot of stuff on the border by executive order. But then guess what? They legislated it out, and the judge said, can't do that. All right, let's go back to the drawing board again. How can I get around this again? That's what that idiot did when he was in the office.
Yeah, did what he want to do. Whatever he want to do. So if you really want to do this, he can, right? Forget the diplomacy and the other side may come around stuff. They won't. They won't.
There's just no.
Who's the fool if you think they're going to come around? Who's the fool?
Right. Exactly.
That ain't me, for sure. Let me grab a line here real quick. Let me get old Bob calling from Indiana. Hey, Bob, what's new, man?
Hello.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, sure can. How you doing, man?
Okay.
What's on your mind?
Well, what I've been hearing you talk about on the radio about this shooting this week. And I did a little something that I don't know what it'll do, but I think if enough people would do it, it could have some effect over time, almost certainly. And
What'd you do, Bob?
Well, the Republicans, as you say, aren't going to do squat as far as any true gun control, or whatever you want to call it. And after Mitch and the boys filibustered the latest attempt right after this, a very timely thing happened. I got in the mail a flyer from an outfit called Emily's List. And I opened it up, and I knew they were looking for money, which on Social Security is something I don't have. However, I looked at that, and they had a list of all women candidates for House, Senate, and Governor for 2022 of all racial and religious and nationality backgrounds from around the world. What they have all in common is they're all progressive Democratic women. And I think it's time to put the good women at the steering wheel in this country. And I think we'll get a lot of things done, or certainly started on, in the right direction. So I scraped them up a nice little check as best I could, and I'm going to try to, before election time, get another one out to them. And if we can get some of these gals in there, the more the merrier, and the Republicans will have to change their tune, or they'll be out of office, which is even better yet.
Good for you, Bob. Yeah. You put your money where your
Bob,
mouth
I appreciate that. Bob, I appreciate it, man, because dudes are screwing this up. This is dudes' fault. You don't see women rolling up in schools, shooting up schools. You don't see that. These are dudes. These are dudes who are legislating this stuff. It's time for the women to be in charge, man. It's time. We screwed it up, man.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that, man. Send more money. What was it? Angie's? What was it? Emily's List. Right. I get the emails from them too. Yeah. Do that. 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
word smooth. And in the same token, I'm hoping that you ain't got no dude so that we can groove. I catch you every now and then in my Benz, lounging on the corner, verbalizing with your friends. And again, I still ain't got the nerve to speak, so I beep, continue to creep, lay low and act discreet. Yeah, I really wanna know your name and stuff, but it seems like you be trying to play some games and stuff. You look rough in your Timberland, looking like you scrambling. I'm on my mommy, when she's out, no doubt she's hot again. Then I've been hearing from my friends that you've been checking me, wanna know about my whereabouts, basically sweating me. So now I think it's time for me to do my swerve thing, get up my nerve thing, treat it right so we can swing.
Hi, this is Attorney Cannon Lambert. Give me a call at 312-977-1300. Keep listening to The Family Meeting.
And you'll be screaming, won't to bed have all night long.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
We buy, we sell, we move, we store. Anything, anytime, anywhere. We do. The company that handles all your stuff. If you have anything that you want to do something with, please call us. We buy, sell, move, store, donate, discard. Anything, anytime, anywhere. eBay plus U-Haul equals we do. We are moving at the speed of life. Call Terry Calloway, 312-343-9973, or via email, contact him at terrycalloway58@gmail.com.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
You better go for some because I flow for some. I'll tell you why there's no love. Simply you're not cool enough for what we have between us. Don't you know you lost my trust?
My name is Sharon Cooper, and I am the sister of Sandra Bland. I am a Chicagoland business professional working in the professional services field. Welcome back to The Family Meeting.
773-763-9278. I think it was Fannie Lou Hamer that famously said that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Sick and tired.
And so, you know, this is it, man. On this issue, I'm done, right? You're going to catch smoke from me if you can't find a way to do something definitive about this. If any politician at any level, that's who we've got to be about this. You can't have people rolling up in schools, shooting up schools like that. Under those circumstances, especially.
Why is that a popular choice?
Because they're schools. They're good. I wish I could think like a lunatic for a minute so I could figure out what they're getting ready to do. But I can't. I mean, going back to the other side of this, right? The last act of this boy's life was to be murdered after having murdered children. What kind of life must he have led to end up like that? Standing around in a room for some 30 or 40 minutes, whatever time frame it was, and just randomly shooting children. What kind of life what would you have to have led to end up in some classroom doing that? Yeah. It's not to excuse him. Don't do that to me. I'm not excusing him. I'm talking about the failures of the system.
The system. Yeah.
To deal with that boy, to help him give a soft place to land. There's too many people that don't have a soft place to land. There's too many of them. You can't be the greatest country in the world and have this happen. You can't do it. And any politician or anybody with influence that can affect this, that doesn't, you get smoke from your boy.
So as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about DeSantis in Florida, who passed that "Don't Say Gay" law.
He's such an imbecile.
But what they should be doing, and all of that resources that they invested in something like that, and just think if every state did the same thing. The money that would just be wasted on a conversation that, so you guys don't want to talk about somebody being gay or not being gay. Who cares? We've got people in this country that can't feed their families, can't pay their rent because rent is sky high, can't drive too far because gas is so high. But you can spend millions of dollars on trying to figure out how you can pass a law that says, don't talk about somebody being gay.
Oh, hey, listen, it gets even better. Listen, here's the harebrained ass idea of the week, right? No, we don't trust you to teach accurate history to our children, but here, have a gun.
Have a gun.
Oh, no. Well, come on, man. No, that's stupid. That's just stupid. We're not having that. Let me get
see, what I'm saying, I was saying all that to say this. The conversation that needs to be had is around mental health.
Absolutely. And I agree with the right on that. The mental health, but it's not either or, it's both and.
It's both and. Exactly.
Right. What if one gets through and doesn't have the mental capacity and gets a gun? You don't give a fork to a toddler.
Not at all.
No, you don't do that. You give them a spork or a spoon or something. Don't make no damn sense.
Yeah.
It's just,
but they're doing that.
The inconsistencies are so incredible, and the Democrats are playing them like they're little children. When a child says something, when a baby says something stupid, oh, that's cute. No, that's insidious what you said.
I mean, if you ask me, they're just as guilty as the Republicans.
Absolutely.
They're sitting back and doing nothing, just like the Republicans aren't doing that. And the only thing is that they're saying to themselves, hey, I don't have to take no blame for this because everybody's blaming the Republicans. Yeah. But you're just as complicit as they are because you're not willing to burn the house down to get anything done either.
You got to burn the house down to get it done.
Sure.
Yeah, act like you mean it. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Or you're not, and you're going to allow this to happen again, because it's going to happen again.
It is going to happen again.
With that foreknowledge, you are culpable in the next one that happens.
Yeah, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, automatic handguns can inflict the same end result, just like an AR-15 does. But why is that the overwhelming choice? Why is that the overwhelming choice?
Well, I mean, but you have to look at this in a global context. They don't do this anywhere else in the world.
But the United States.
Right. They don't have any more or less mental health issues than we do. The only difference is they don't allow people to have guns as often as we do. That's the only difference. Well, we're the greatest country on earth. No, you can't be. You can't be. Let me get Kenethia calling from Denver here, man. Kenethia, what's up, girl?
Hey, I am calling drug-free today, so
that's the second time in a row. What are you doing?
I know. Well, you know, marijuana is getting expensive, just like everything else. So
inflation got you.
Yeah. Hey, I missed Is it Tressa?
Sure, it is.
I sure missed her and was wondering where she was. God bless. I'm glad you're back. And yeah, sorry about your father. And
thank you.
So, yeah, God bless in that regard. Hey, listen, the Democrats really, we need AOC in the squad up front. The career politicians, Schumer and everybody, their time has been so far up because executive orders, you know, how about putting a ban and a limit on bullets? Okay? And how about making everyone that has a gun carry some insurance? Okay, I can't drive a car without insurance. So, you
or
know,
a license for that matter.
Yeah. Well, they don't even want to do that. But to get them to the table, you know, this negotiating and going to the scene of the crime and all this, and then I blame us because Hispanics are the largest voting bloc, and all of this stuff could be voted out instantly if everybody's registered to vote. That has got, and then change the system. But with what we got, we have to educate. Every time there's a crisis, it's a time to educate as to why it is a crisis. You know, and I talked to you about the Dred Scott decision. You know, it all goes back to voting. It was based on voting, and the system is still like it was then. And in order to get through it, we have to all vote. And it sounds so sad when people have died. And kids, too. That whole situation's appalling. But they can expect the Hispanics not to vote so they can do whatever they want. That's exactly what they're doing. Or not, you know.
And it'll happen again. That's the worst part about this is they know, and they've said out loud, they know it will happen again, and they're doing little to nothing about it.
Texas is a place of its own. You know, they have certain rules that are different, you know, from every place else, you know. So they really have to get organized down there so they can vote. And Democrats, you know, they're enablers. You know, they all need an Al-Anon meeting. And as far as I'm concerned, all people of color have a mental illness. Okay?
We should be the only ones allowed to have a mental illness.
Hey, that's the least we can get, okay? Because after all the stuff we've been through for centuries, you know, we must have a mental illness, you know, or we're the ever-ready bunny. Which one is it?
You sure you haven't been smoking something today? You sure?
I know it. Hey, I'm listening out here. I love what you guys are talking about today. God bless.
Likewise.
Stay around, Tressa.
I'm going to try. I promise.
Yeah, she don't.
Be nice.
I actually...
Wait a minute. How you picking on her? What you mean by that? I ain't picking on her.
Well, you get
She just said be nice. She just said be nice.
Oh, y'all can gang up on me if you want. It's not going to help you.
I'm not ganging up on you.
Oh, just whatever, man. Whatever.
You know what, though? I am of the mindset.
Kenethia, thank you, girl. Appreciate you, girl. Be well.
Yes, Kenethia, thank you. Good to hear you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm of the mindset, either there's got to be something else going on here.
Like what?
There's got to be a reason why they won't pass gun reform.
It's money. It's money.
No, yeah, that too. But it's got to be something else.
Why you think that? Why can't it just be money? But really, why can't it just be money?
I think it's that and.
And what?
And I don't know.
Because it's money. It's money. It's all money.
The NRA is broke.
Yeah, but the people who support the NRA support the people who support the NRA. So listen, it's a vicious cycle. Those people give them money. The gun manufacturers aren't broke.
Yeah, that's true. And they shouldn't be allowed to lobby Congress to not pass this and that, and you know, and then all these other behind the back door deals that they're doing to make sure that these politicians are able to still have access to that dark money is a problem as well.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Why are you trying to figure that out? I'm telling you that your boy needs to do an executive order now that's
I said
all-encompassing.
I said it at the beginning of the show.
And then we can.
If I were president, that's exactly what would happen. I'd do an executive order and let them litigate it out.
Right, flush it out.
I promise you I would.
Yeah, let them flush it out.
And then you can actually have a conversation about it then of why I did this. And then you tell me why that wasn't a good idea through the litigating in the courts.
That's right.
So that's where the conversation is going to be had. But until somebody does something, i.e. Joe Biden.
See, y'all not going to like that. We're putting pressure on your boy today. That's what we're putting.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting it up because the buck stops at his desk.
Today.
He's the president.
He should have signed something before he went down there.
Yes. Today it stops at his desk.
Yeah.
And until he does something, I'm laying it squarely at his feet.
That's right.
When this happened on Barack Obama's watch, when those 23 babies in Sandy Hook got killed, Barack Obama did that. He did that. And they shut him down.
Got to push, man. Got to push. Let me get Earl calling from Hyde Park here, man. Earl, what's new, man?
Oh, man, I'm glad to see you got part of the team back together.
That's right. She's back.
Great.
She's back.
I'm telling you. And, but, man, Mississippi. You folks haven't been to Mississippi and are black. Boy, that's enough.
Yeah, I'm giving them hell down here, though. I'm giving them hell down here.
But you notice, Earl, every time I talk to her, she gets a little more country. You hear that?
Stop it.
Little more country every time you talk to her.
I'm giving them hell down here.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, okay, whatever you say.
They ready for me to go back up north. They ready for me. Trust me. I went to a meeting the other day, a county board meeting. They was like, "Who the hell is this? And where she come from?"
She don't know these parts down here. She ain't from around these parts.
She don't know the etiquette down here for black folk.
That's right. That's right.
What I will say you may not like, may not agree with, but I will say that you agree with. I think you agree with most of it. Now, number one, I agree with your sentiment completely. I've been a black man longer than both of you been on this planet, and I know the ills and the problems that we've had, and I know, how bad it is in Mississippi because I was right next door in Louisiana. And so the only difference was we might have had more alligators. That's about the only difference in attitude. And they might have had that little Geechee going, that little language going to Geechee, but it was the same attitude against black folks and keeping us down, But here's the problem as I see it, and you may not see it this way. The problem is that we have a society that is them against us. And them are not just white people against black people and brown people. Them is rich people against poor people and trying to grow that lower class people to a greater extent. They, like you said, man, they want money, but in order to get money, they got to keep us poor. They got to keep white folks poor. They got to keep Latinos poor. They got to have cheap labor somewhere. And what they do is make white folks vote against their own interests or, cultural issues like abortion, guns, and all this other stuff, and not economic issues because they don't want everybody to get together on economic issues because it'll cut back on their profits. Now, where I'm going to differ with you slightly is I agree completely with your sentiment. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand your sentiment. But I don't know that if Biden passed an executive order right now that the Republican Party wouldn't file a lawsuit to put a stay on it and go on until a Republican judge who will uphold the stay and say, let this be legislated and you can't go forward. There might be a problem that you make an assumption that if you make an executive order, it has to go forward until it's litigated. No, I'm suggesting that the issue might be that a Republican judge can stop it until it is litigated, and so therefore you put too much blame on Biden or Barack Obama or whatever. I'm saying that I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I think that door can swing both ways. So you
absolutely,
make an assumption it goes one way.
Absolutely,
Okay.
You're right because but that's our point. Is go ahead and fight it out in court. But I gotta believe unless he's got imbeciles for attorneys working with and for him, and that could be possible. But they got to be prepared to make a strong argument for the executive order. They got to be prepared.
I don't think so. let me tell you, we got 75 million folks that voted for Trump, and they think that.
Yeah, but this is not a voting issue, though.
But I know it's a different issue. But I mean, we got idiots out there all across the country. We got idiot judges.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But still, this is about.
You can't assume that it's going to go your way. That's all I'm saying, buddy.
I got you.
I agree with you that we have to put it in court, but I don't think that all that money and power is going to help us get a better life because they don't see it in their interest.
Yeah. Well,
they want us poor and stupid.
But it's a disruptive tactic.
That's why.
And you're right. I don't have any belief that it would. I don't have any belief that it will stand up in court. But what I'm talking about is deploying a tactic to disrupt it.
And make them defend the
argument. No, I agree. I didn't disagree with that. I didn't disagree with that. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for taking my call, both of you. And hey. You don't want to have to send a train down there to get you and bring you back up to the car.
They already tried to break me out of Mississippi.
Because there ain't no airplanes.
Happy holidays.
All right, thanks, Zero. Because there ain't no planes down there. It's all trains, right?
Yeah, it's all trains.
That's right.
Trains and automobiles, no planes.
That's right. All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Slow thinking, that flower bringing. If my burglar alarm starts, you don't wanna fall in love with me.
Hi, I'm Clyde Tin with Kelly Dry and Warren LLP, www.KELLEYDRYE.com. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
See, you don't wanna fall in love with me.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
Are you one of the 78% of Americans who'd like to speak with someone about a long-term care plan? Did you know that only 16% have had that conversation? Call the Polaris Insurance Agency at 312-951-2606. One of the Polaris agents in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Iowa can provide you with useful material, like what long-term care currently costs and what it could cost in the coming years according to the Genworth 2012 Cost of Care Study. With information like this, you'll have the power to plan. Call the Polaris Insurance Agency at 312-951-2606. Don't outlive your financial resources.
This is Sue Myers, founder of Indivisible South Suburban Chicago. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
773-763-9278. Everybody wants to talk about this today, Tressel. Lines are lit up.
Oh, well, let's get to it.
I know.
Get to it.
But listen, I want people to understand something, right? I think it's safe to say that we've got a position on this issue. And we need to...
Yeah, our position is I don't want to see babies die. That's my position.
Yeah.
However, whatever we have to do to stop that, that's the side I'm on. That's the position I'm taking.
Yeah, like now we ain't negotiating that. We're stopping this right now. right? This is something that you sit down with all the data you've collected over the years, something you sit down with for a few hours with some experts, and you work through it, you figure it out, and you come out tomorrow with a solution.
I don't even know if I want. I'm not even willing to do that anymore. I am of the mindset now that I think it's time for the parents to gun up just like these idiots are, and go protect your babies. Take shifts. You got two or three that's patrolling in the morning. You got 2 or 3 that's patrolling in the afternoon, and then y'all swap it out each day. That way, every school is protected. If the parent, listen, that's what they don't want. They don't want the parents to start taking it in their head, because you know what? It's gonna be like that sign you sent me of the surveillance.
Yeah.
Mess around and find out.
Right. But I don't disagree with that as one tactic, but it's a larger problem, though. It's larger than just protecting schools.
But see, I'm done with that part of it.
Well, me too. But we got to ask of our government to have comprehensive solutions, and until you've come up with it, you have to deploy disruptive tactics so that it doesn't happen again. And so this is about that boy being bullied or his parents not having the resources to support him. This is about access to the guns. This is about mental health. It's a lot of things this is a problem for, because people are getting shot in grocery stores. I mean, do we arm people in grocery stores too? Is everybody armed now all of a sudden? No, that's stupid. We need to do
an armed guard at that grocery store.
Right.
And
he got killed.
And he got killed, yeah.
So I mean, it's a larger problem. Listen, it starts with, and I agree with Republicans on this. It starts with mental health. But again, it's not either or, it's both and. So if you're down for mental health.
The issue in Buffalo wasn't about mental health. It was that he subscribed to an ideology.
Well, okay, but that's stupid, though. That's a mental issue. Your ass is mentally retarded for doing that.
Yeah, but there are those that keep espousing that on national TV every single day, every single night. And there's somebody that listens to that stuff every single day, every single night, and they become indoctrinated with that, and that's how they become radicalized.
Well, let me tell you.
Let
me tell you why it's stupid, though. Right? I mean, white replacement theory is what you're talking about, right? It's white people that go around replacing people all the time. They move into a neighborhood and replace everybody there. They move into a country and displace all the Native Americans, kill hundreds of thousands of them on the way to doing so. I mean, who's replacing who here? So that's stupid. You have a learning disability if you can't understand that that's not a thing, and if it is, it's you who are replacing people.
Well, then who's really the mental ones here? Because it sounds to me like the ones who's moving in and displacing people that could potentially be beneficial to them, those are the ones that are mental, because that's just stupid. I don't want to be in a neighborhood where nobody in the neighborhood benefits me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Just to say that I live around a bunch of people that are like me, but I don't benefit from them in any kind of way.
But you do understand, I'm saying that this country has a tendency to nip around the edges of problems and deal with the sensational part of the problem versus the root of the problem.
That's why I'm not talking about that no more, I'm tired of nipping at the edge. I ain't nipping no more. I'm coming for somebody's head. Because as far as I'm concerned, those 19 babies were my babies. Because I can guarantee you what would happen if that was one of my grandkids, or if that was one of my children when they were in school. I can tell you right now what I would do. I'm coming for somebody's head. I want blood. That's what I want now.
I'm with you there. I'm the same way. Same way. All right, let me get Eduardo calling here from Chicago, from the southwest side. Eduardo, what's new, man?
Yeah, it's good to see Teresa back on Tessa. Yes. It's
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. You guys missed a good restaurant show last week. Remember I told you some weeks ago I was going there?
Yeah, I heard about that. This is at the McCormick place, right?
Yeah, it was great. I went 2 or 3 days, networking event at Navy Pier on Monday. It was awesome.
I heard. Yeah, I had some friends that went down there, too.
One thing is education. They had these robots because, they're getting ready for these people who obviously don't want to work. I saw an article where Chili's was going to be using robots. And, this comes back to the trade schools, which is my big pet peeve, that it should be everywhere, trade schools, because otherwise I guess we're just getting, correct me if I'm wrong, you get paid for doing these TikTok videos or Facebook. I'm not on that social media stuff. I'm 50 years old, but I heard that people get paid for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're getting paid, and then we got these robots going, am I really going to be having a nervous breakdown if I'm a college graduate, you know?
Well, listen, we've had automation of jobs in the past, and I don't know that this country's slowed down because of that. I mean, the cotton gin was the first one that comes to mind, but it still kept people working. So I don't see robots as the problem. I mean, if you put robots in, you still got to have people who build and service the robots, right?
No, I get what
Yeah,
he's
well,
saying.
I myself hope.
He's saying that we're building a culture where of human people are actually going to become obsolete because they're too busy building a social media presence and taking their pretty much their validation from there, whereas we still have everyday stuff that needs to go on, and there's a gap that needs to be filled. So when the social media blitz runs out, they're going to turn around and look, and it's going to be a robot doing their job, and there's not going to be anything for anybody, and that's when we're really going to fall into it.
I don't know if I buy that, though. I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah, if you're not buying that, you're
Maybe
not
it takes
paying
years,
attention.
maybe.
I mean,
You're
but
not paying attention, E.
yeah, but we've always had situations where our generation.
Not like this, though.
Well, sure we
You
have.
didn't
It's always been this
we
way.
We didn't always have social media.
Well, no, but it's always
When did
something,
the internet
though.
come around? Come on now.
It's always something, though. It's always something.
Name something of this magnitude.
Okay, the horse and buggy, and cars.
Okay, so the horse and the buggy evolution to the car actually enhanced the human existence.
Well, okay, I would argue that social media does the same thing.
Oh, I would have to argue that's the demise,
Mm-mm.
because the first thing that young man did before he went and shot his grandmother and shot up that school was he posted it on social media.
No,
That fool in Buffalo live streamed it on Facebook.
Yeah, you can't do that, though. I mean, because it cuts both ways, right? You get wider,
No,
you got more and wider communications, and it's being misused. It doesn't make the communication bad because it gets misused.
I'm not saying that it's making the communication bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying compare when we grew up, what was going on then, what we had to
And we
deal
didn't
with
have
now.
fax machines, though. Tressa, what are you talking about? I mean,
Yeah, we did. We had fax machines.
not when
Hell,
we were little. We didn't have no fax machines. You had to mail stuff. Listen,
well, that's true too.
I don't believe I don't believe that innovation in and of itself is a problem. I don't think wider communications is a problem. I think misusing innovation and misusing communication is a problem.
Okay, but you can't mitigate that, E.
Well, you can't mitigate anything like that.
Because so the abuse of it is always going to be there. So I guess, and if I'm
So you
if
don't
I'm
take it
hearing-
away. You don't take it away then.
I'm not saying take it away.
Well, what's the answer then?
But I don't know the answer. That's just it. How do we as a society, mesh that into what we do on a day-to-day basis without taking that as a validation of our existence? Because that's the mindset that some of these people are dealing with.
That's them misusing it. That's exactly right. So you find a way to help people not misuse it. But you don't chastise it or make it a problem. That's not the problem. Misusing it's the problem. It's like misusing a gun is a problem.
You sound like, I was just going to say, you sound like those people who say that the gun's not the problem. It's the person using the gun.
But misusing a gun is really the problem.
You tell me what the difference is, what we're talking about, E.
Well, no, we're saying the same thing. See what you done started, Eduardo. See what you started, man.
Oh, I know. So let me make a quick point. So,
troublemaker.
Call this here. The military. There's street gangs possibly in the military, and if there are, then they're selling that stuff obviously on the street. So we need to pay attention to that. At least the government does.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Good week.
Yeah. Thanks,
You
Eduardo.
too.
Appreciate
Thank
you, man.
Happy holiday.
Is there a holiday coming up? We got a holiday?
Yeah, tomorrow, Memorial Day.
I don't know about this stuff, man.
Yeah. What you doing tomorrow?
Working. I work every day.
You working on the holiday? You're not gonna barbecue?
Nah, I ain't gonna do that, man. The kids are all gone. I ain't gotta do that no more. Let me get Lisa calling from Naperville here. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Hey, Lisa.
Hey, guys. How are you? Tressa, so good to hear you.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good, love. It's so good to hear your voice. We need our feminine energy up in this.
Hey. You know, I'm here, too. I can hear you.
Offense, Eric. No offense. We just need to balance it out a little bit. So.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Here.
I don't get it. I don't know what that means.
So it's been a rough week, I think, for everybody. I'm going to try to keep it together, but I don't know if it's just me. It's not all about me, obviously, but, this gunman walked into a fourth grade classroom, and my son, Brody, is a fourth grader. So it hit home for us.
Could have been your baby. Could have been your baby.
I know. Mm-hmm. And so I imagine they would have to duct tape my behind to a pole to stop me from running in that school while they were all standing outside doing nothing.
And you'd have snatched that pole out of the ground, too, wouldn't you?
Yep.
I really would have. I mean, I would have gone insane, but instead they pepper sprayed them and handcuffed them. And it's just, I can't even wrap my brain around all of the horrors that happened. But that certainly is one of them that I can't fathom. I cannot fathom. So I've had to have rough conversations with my son this week and found myself, I'm going to get emotional again, but Googling the price of bulletproof backpacks and instructing my son where to go in the classroom should it ever happen to him.
As you should, baby. As you should. Do not feel.
I know.
Don't feel any kind of way about.
I can't believe
this
is the world that we live in.
No, this is the America
I know.
that we live in.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And the thought that I keep going back to is, if it's really their allegiance to the NRA, we all know everything always comes down to dollars in America because, the almighty dollar is really the motor that drives everything, at least politically. So what if there was a lobbying group that funded, the anti-NRA? What if we had an anti-NRA lobbying group that gave them more money than the NRA did? And we would give them more money if they just promised not to support the NRA anymore. Would they then be open to sensible gun control measures?
It's a vicious cycle, though, Lisa, because the NRA supported.
Money that would take.
It's a vicious cycle, Lisa, because the NRA is supported by an industry that makes money from the sale of guns.
Yes.
So they can amass wealth faster than a benevolent movement, a movement that is your movement. It's hard to do.
And that's when it starts feeling so futile. I know. So what is the answer? I refuse to just throw out my hands and wait for our legislators to actually legislate something to help us, because the same reality that I spoke to you about, and I know it upsets you when I break bad on the Democratic Party, Tressa, but real talk, the Democrats are part of the problem. I received personally at least 8 fundraising emails after the mass shooting in Uvalde from Democrats. So their hands are clean because they don't take NRA money. They just got done Steny Hoyer and Clyburn and Nancy Pelosi and the establishment Democratic Party just went up against, in a Democratic primary in Texas, went up against a progressive candidate in Texas' 28th Congressional District, Jessica Cisneros, who's a Justice Democrat. And they backed instead a forced birth, pro or anti-abortion, pro-gun Democratic candidate rather than a progressive candidate. And they all came out and they campaigned for him. for this man against a beautiful Latina woman who is a progressive. Make that make sense to me.
Can't do it.
So I think of the comments by Dick Durbin. Gosh, I really hope they are willing to play the game this time and do something to make it better. Well, you know what? I have a feeling that the establishment Dems' hands are just as dirty as the GOP because they get money and money and money. Do they really want to fix this problem? Or does it benefit them if this is another wedge issue that they can use to hold our hands to the fire and make us vote for their mediocrity? You know?
Yeah, it's either vote for us or you're going to be stuck with them. It's getting stabbed or getting shot is what we got to choose from here.
I know.
Crazy.
So I hate feeling hopeless. I really hate feeling hopeless. I want
listen, Lisa. Our currency is voting. You keep doing what you're doing, you get people to vote, right? Because money can't outdo votes.
Now get on the PTA and get those parents together, and y'all get y'all guns and go patrol your baby's school.
And then
That's
vote.
What you do.
Vote. That's right.
And vote. And vote.
Lisa, got to bounce, girl. Good to hear from you.
Bless you guys.
Okay. Take care.
You too. Bye.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. Nothing but crazy.
So crazy needs a crazy response.
That's right.
That's what it needs.
That's right. All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
My name is Cecil B. Lucy, attorney at law and a certified public accountant. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
A single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
This is Vince Verzi, a consultant with BizBloom.com. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
Yeah, y'all. So, it's one of those weeks, man, where you get, well, to Lisa's point, everybody's culpable on the political side of this. I think to a large degree, we voters were culpable as well.
Thank you.
Every single one of us
Thank you.
Every single one of us knows that it's getting ready to happen again. Like I said earlier, drive by your local elementary school and just envision where the memorial goes at your school. The likelihood of it happening again is almost 100%. And nobody's moving. Nobody's moving.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
let me
the
get
sad part.
let me get Ron calling from Michigan here, man. Hey, Ron, what's new, man? Hey, Ron. Come on, Ron. Okay, I'm gonna put him on hold here, and if I can figure out which button is hold, and then get Paul here from Seattle. My man, Paul. What's up, man?
That's me. You don't have to wait for me, do you?
No.
No. So here's the deal. We don't need to argue about the Second Amendment. See, we fall for this all the time. We said that we fell for the same thing about abortion and when does life begin and all this crap. All we needed to do was have a constitutional discussion about it and how abortion, compelling people to women to carry abortion to term, is converting her to involuntary servitude, which is prohibited under the 13th Amendment. And if you just follow my article on Medium.com, and I have a new article today on Facebook. Just search Facebook for "No Free Lunch for Gun Makers." No free lunch for gun makers, and I'll talk about what's going on. What we need to do, and this would go a long way towards solving the problem, is simply repeal the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act signed by George W. Bush in 2005, which basically exempts the gun manufacturers from product liability, from strict product liability, which every other product sold in America is subject to. And this is why this is important. Strict liability simply means that if it can be proved that the product caused the damage or injury or death, the manufacturer is strictly liable for the damages. That's it. You just need cause. You don't have to prove fault of anybody, just it caused it. And you see, all you need to prove, they say, oh, this is about guns. No, I'm telling you, the cause of death for every one of those victims was ballistic trauma inflicted by a gun. That's it. The product used with its proper intent, albeit by a criminal and loser, doesn't matter who used it. The product was used to cause death, and the proximate cause was ballistic trauma. Now, what happens is when you hold the theory behind strict liability is that these damages to society, these losses to society are called externalities. Every product has externalities. Every product has, to a lesser or greater extent. I mean, silly putty has externalities. I mean, especially if your mama find it under the couch cushion, all gooeyed in there, you get a new couch cushion, and your butt's going to whoop it. So it does cause damage to a lesser or greater extent. So a real little example is what happens is the manufacturers are supposed to internalize those costs. They're supposed to add something to the price of the product to cover their liabilities based on, as you all understand,
cigarette makers do the same thing. Cigarette makers do the same thing.
Sure, and every product it's just like insurance actuarial is how much damage is it? How much can we expect in terms of damages, and that's how much we have to add. So a pizza maker, occasionally an olive pit may end up on a pizza, and somebody bites into it and breaks a tooth. You're liable because olive pits aren't supposed to be, but they will occasionally because a can of olives is going to have a pit in it once in a while, and your maker puts it on, and you bite into it. So they add a few cents to the cost of a pizza to cover the cost. Well, the gun industry has been exempted for the last 17 years from having to internalize those costs. So I was just looking when I wrote this article, well, how much an AR-1500 cost? Anywhere from $700 to $1,200, depending on how many bells and whistles you want on it for your mechanism of destruction and death. But I guarantee you, if they had to internalize the cost for this kind of a weapon, they wouldn't be $700. They'd be like $2,000 or $3,000, and no little punk is likely to have enough money. And by the way, it might become less profitable to make this kind of gun And it's all about money. So if it's not profitable to make it, because as you raise the price, the demand for the product is going to go down because this is supply and demand. It's basic economics and free market principles. Then they're not going to make as many. Then the price will go up some more. And then eventually they're just going to say it's not worth making this gun.
So here's the problem, Paul. Here's the problem. All of that makes too much sense.
Yeah, I know. I know you're going to get there. I know you're going to get that. That means my call is almost over. So I hear it coming. I hear it coming. It's all making too much sense. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So, this is what we have to do. And if they were held to this, and this is just repeating
Wait a minute. Who though, Paul?
All these other things are going to get.
You said we,
gun
Paul.
manufacturers.
No, you said who has to force the gun manufacturers to do this? Who's the we?
Congress.
Oh, there you go. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
But all of these other ideas that we have are Congress, and those involve the perception of taking guns away. If you start, I think the solution to this entire problem is civil liability. When you make it too expensive for people to let somebody who shouldn't have a gun get a hold of it, they won't get one. When you make it, if you had liability insurance, you get all kinds of other civil liabilities, which are in no way prohibited by the Second Amendment. They have nothing to do with that. Then we will say, it's all, it's all about money.
Yeah. Well, so can Biden do an executive order? Can Biden write an executive order requiring liability insurance on behalf of the gun manufacturers and gun owners and purchasers?
No. Here's the problem. Here's why this law needs to be repealed, because states can pass laws, liability laws, but you see, because of jurisdiction in civil procedures of jurisdiction, because guns are sold in every state, the gun manufacturers will say, we are not beholden to that state jurisdiction. We will remove this. We want to remove this case to federal court, and once they get it in federal court, it'll be tossed out immediately because of the PLCAA, which is the Protection of Legal Commerce and Arms Act. It'll be thrown out. They will have it removed to federal court, so it gets tossed out. So that it essentially renders the state liability laws useless. That's why once you toss it out, then states also can have liability laws to which these gun manufacturers and other manufacturers, because there are both federal and state liability laws. But the ones that are passed by the states are being completely trumped over by.
But here's the problem: the people that you rely on to execute this are unreliable.
Mm-hmm. Well, they somehow got it through, because what happened in 2005 is we were all screaming about we were fighting with them about about the Second Amendment, and we should take some of these guns away, and we and what they slipped by me now was this law that nobody really knows about.
Yeah,
that's the problem. The Congress in 2005, whichever number Congress that was, and George W. Bush, it was the Republican dominated Congress, and George W. Bush, they got it passed. So they keep passing laws that are kind of going the other way with the football than what we're trying to do, and then we say, oh, it's impossible, it'll never get done because it's Congress. Well, they keep getting it done.
Yeah.
They keep doing things like we want Medicare expansion. They got it done. They got Medicare Advantage, and they expanded into Medicare Part D. They expanded Medicare plan.
Yeah, that's right. When they want something done, they go about the business of getting it done. Unlike Democrats.
That's right, they do.
That's right. When are you going to run for office, Paul? When are you running, man?
Oh.
Hello, Paul. You still there?
Yeah. I will be the 12th of never.
Okay. Okay, we're going to work on that, man. We're going to work on it. We need.
Okay.
We need that. Paul, thank you, man. Be well, okay?
All right.
Okay. See ya. Let me get.
When they pass stuff like that, like he talked about the Part B expansion, it's never a good thing. When they might pass it, but the new tax laws, not a good thing for a good majority of Americans.
Yeah, middle America suffers from that.
Part B expansion, same thing. That falls on the states, because a lot of those people are lower income, and the state Medicaid will help people pay their Part B premiums.
But the point is that when they want to get something done, they do it.
Oh, I get it. Though it don't make any doggone sense why they're doing it, but they do get together and do it.
They do.
And you're right.
Unlike Democrats who don't, we're going to try, but the Republicans, blah, whatever. All right, let me get Dave calling from Hoffman Estates here. Hey, Dave, what's new, man?
Hey, how you doing, Eric?
Good, man. How are you? Say hi to Tressa.
Hey, when you mentioned about this executive order, I was listening on my bike when I was coming in, and you said, I don't care if it's illegal, he's got to do it, he's got to do it. What do you want to do? You want to hand over the Senate and the Congress to the Republicans?
I'm not running scared of an election loss for doing the right thing.
Well, hopefully, because, I don't know.
That's why we are where we are, because Democrats won't stand up out of fear of what the other side is going to respond to.
Happen because
and you'll be the one pointing the finger at the end when they lose and say the Democrats failed on this. But
no, 88% of Americans support some sort of gun reform.
That they were going to impeach Biden if they get back in power. Well, you just handed it to them on a platter. Now they'll go voting in droves.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue here is people are dying if we do not. People will continue to die if we do nothing. And 88% of Americans support some sort of gun reform. So don't tell me that we're going to hand over the Senate and everything to the Republicans. No, I don't buy that. Don't buy that.
No, you can't get nothing passed now with what? You got two dinos on the Democratic side with Manchin and Sinema.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there.
Actually,
what are we talking about today?
But anyway, we'll agree to disagree. I think it's going to blow it if it,
Yeah, but blow what though?
Right.
Blow what though?
Well, you were just down in Mississippi. You know how they love their guns down south.
Yeah, but Dave, blow what though? I mean, what happens? Do we just allow the murders to continue?
I ain't saying to allow it, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, really though, what's the answer? Okay, I'll couch my idea. What's the answer?
Clean the whole house out, both sides.
I agree with that. Like, start with Manchin and Sinema. Start with them.
Yeah, and that then. But I mean, how long do you think they'd let? If it went to court, do you think they're going to let it hang on as long as it's milking out this January 6th and the contempt charge stuff?
Yeah, but it's
no
curious.
Way it'll last that long.
It's curious to me though, Dave, how when Republicans want to do something that's harebrained that the whole country's against, they get it done, and they still get elected. So I don't buy doing bold things and it costing you elections. They've proven otherwise.
Yep. And then they had what was going to the rallies. The people got to check their guns. Well, I mean, they've had to do that before already. Anytime you go to a gun show, they got to check their guns. But yet they don't scream about violating their Second Amendment rights there.
Yeah, isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic?
Very, very. And then, but you got good hunters and stuff like that. They ain't crying that they need to have a 10-round magazine or a 15-round magazine to go hunt. I mean, they have a regulated amount, like say a 4-round clip, and that in one in the tube or whatever, so you can give the game a sporting chance.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like on what Paul had mentioned on the prices, I've seen them for about $700 for these AR-15s and stuff. And I mean, and this catalog / magazine catalog I got, you could buy one for that, and you got cartridges, bullets you could buy anywhere from, I'm assuming he had maybe about 500 rounds or 200 or something.
Yeah.
They were 500 rounds with $320 for a box of 500 rounds of the 5.56, and why it did so much damage is this thing they have a muzzle velocity of 3,200 and 3,231 feet per second.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and
yeah.
And the Democrats should be playing that. They've been showing this tape from back in 1991 when Warren Burger was saying that December '91, saying that this is about the Second Amendment is false type of stuff.
There you go, making too much sense again, man. That would make too much sense. Way too much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people ever look in their 401ks? How many of them got gun manufacturers in their 401ks?
Yeah, I do. I know I do.
No, and they're pointing the fingers. You remember there's 3 pointing back at you.
Yeah. Dave, I appreciate it, man. Be well, okay?
All right, you too. Good hearing you again, Trev.
You too. Thank you.
Down in Mississippi and stuff. I sound like Herschel Walker, don't I? Down in Mississippi and stuff. Dumbass. All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
This is Abdel Shakur, Mr. Know-It-All. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
We do. We buy, we sell, we move, we store. Anything, anytime, anywhere. We are, we do. The company that handles all your stuff. If you have anything that you want to do something with, please call us. We buy, sell, move, store, donate, discard. Anything, anytime, anywhere. eBay plus U-Haul equals we do. We are moving at the speed of life. Call Terry Calloway, 312-343-9973, or via email, contact him at terrycalloway58@gmail.com.
A 2016 study estimated that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft last year. Fight back against your identity being stolen by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID for as little as $6 per month. Yes, that's only $6 per month by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
Hey, Family Meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon Family Meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the Family Meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, thefamilymeeting.com, and click on the link.
Always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke. So, no, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. And no, I don't want to meet you nowhere. No, don't want none of your time. And no, I don't want no scrub. The scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me.
This is Sue Myers, founder of Indivisible South Suburban Chicago. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
I did Sue twice, didn't I? How about that? Yeah. Hey, in certain age and stuff. That's what happens to people sometimes. Hey, listen, let me remind you all, make sure you visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. The playlist is there, archive broadcasts are there, and your opportunity to support our broadcast by clicking the Become a Patron button is right there on the website. That's tfmradioshow.com. Hey, y'all, Tress is with us today, live from Mississippi. They actually got like communication devices in Mississippi where she's able to communicate with us.
We just got that last night.
Next thing you know, y'all gonna have running water indoors. Y'all coming up.
You know what strikes me about all the conversation that we've had is just the ease at how a weapon is available to someone. I mean, 18 years old, I can walk in and buy a long gun like that. Not one, but two. On an 18-year-old's salary without stealing anything or, getting I heard he used a credit card. I don't know. Who gives that kind of a limit to an 18-year-old, working at Wendy's? I don't know. Maybe his credit was real good. But did you know that if I go buy a bottle of liquor, the tax on a bottle of liquor is almost 30%.
I don't really buy liquor. I don't really buy liquor, so I don't know that.
I'm just making a comparison,
Okay.
just for the argument's sake. But if I go buy a weapon, my taxes are really what the state's taxes are, no more than 6, 7, 8%. The first thing they want to do when they want to raise money in any city or whatever is they want to raise taxes on liquor and tobacco, right?
Mm-hmm.
But studies have shown that they're purchasing guns and ammunition at almost the same rate. And if that much money is being put into the system to keep the sale of guns going, nobody's arguing to keep the sale of alcohol and tobacco going. And by the way, those are the two industries which we just talked about. They have to add a little bit extra to it so it pays for if somebody, the liability part of it. And that the gun people don't have to do that. But given the fact that these manufacturers aren't even owned by the manufacturers anymore, they're owned by hedge funds now. So that says a lot right there. What would a hedge fund want to go and buy?
Because it's profitable.
A gun manufacturer.
It's profitable.
Exactly. So we have to do what Paul said. We make it unprofitable or less profitable for them to do that.
That makes a lot of sense again, but
And if I throw a tax on that, and if I throw some insurance on that,
If you who throws a tax on it?
If I as a legislator or the government or the
That's what I'm
Congress
saying.
or whatever.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Do something.
Yeah, because
do that then. Do that. What you just said, they should do that, but they're doing nothing now. They're wringing their hands and clutching their pearls and meeting and negotiating, and they're going to come out with something that they won't get passed, and we're going to have it happen all over again.
Very true.
Got to be done with that. Got to be done with that. Let me get Jim calling from Chicago here. Hey, Jim, what's new, man?
Hello. Eric.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, thank you so much for taking my call. Just said something here about more going on than real. I don't know.
Oh, Jim, listen, man. Move to a different spot, and I'll come back to you, man. Let me get Tommy in because your cell phone is going crazy on us here, man. Just go to a different spot. And in the interim, you ready for this, Tressa?
Yes.
Let me see.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, let me see what's on Tom's mind, shall we? Yeah, Tom, what's up, man?
Well, let me just say it to you like this. The highlight of my day is that Miss Tressa is on the line. It's great to hear your voice, and I miss you terribly. And a shout out to all those in the family meeting airways, most certainly to you. I don't know where my man Rich is today, but I hope all is well with him. And then let's just go down this line. Listen to the conversation that you're having. And nobody wants to stop with the one thing that's most important. And the one thing that's most important is, why does a pedestrian have a military-style weapon? When you stop right there, that ends the comments and stuff about Second Amendment rights. At no time has anyone ever said that we're going to go and take away people's guns that they have at their home. What the country has asked for is that military-style weapons not be placed in the possession of pedestrians in the United States of America, along with extended magazine, high-velocity ammunition, body armor. Ban them! What in hell is wrong with banning? Why are we going back and forth? The country is in crisis. I tell you, since none of you decided that the thing for you to do is to buy a Tommy bobblehead, then this is why you don't recognize and understand total recall. I don't care if it's Democrats. I don't care if it's Republicans. I don't care if it's independents. I don't care if you just got here from Mars. You told and said to this country that you would go from wherever you're coming from in this country and represent not only your constituents, but the commonwealth of the country. The country is in crisis. I don't care what color you are. You have been added to the list of carnage. And yet you're going to sit up here and try to tell me that people who we are paying to make these ungodly decisions are now sitting up here trying to talk about, oh, we can't this and we can't that. But meanwhile, kids can die. Black unarmed people can die. Muslims can die. Arabs can die. Jews can die. Gays, lesbians can die. On an unprecedented scale. And you're still sitting up here going back and forth about one simple thing. Ban them. You wouldn't have to worry about an 18-year-old. You wouldn't have to worry about a mentally unstable individual. You would not have to worry about if today I decide that I'm going down to Mississippi, I may not make it because my tail light is out. And I'm colored, black, Afro, African American, Negro, hell, whatever you want to call me. I tell you this as I close. The moral compass is broke. Because this country will not stand up. Because all you have to do is look and see. Professor History is reporting itself. One Irish newspaper boy was gunned down by gangland activity by a Thompson machine gun. It initiated the FBI. They went through the entire country. They got all the gangsters. And guess what else they turned around and did? They banned the Thompson machine gun. They banned it. And the ammunition. They banned it. How long ago was that? So why on God's earth would you sit up and allow somebody to talk to you like you are an absolute fool and tell you that we can't do nothing about this when especially the federal government has the authority to legislate everything in this country? They can shut it down right now by executive order, by decree, whatever you want to go. What do they call it? The defense of the country? Hell, you don't think it's the defense of the country to get rid of these weapons? Keep listening to the family needs. Because sometimes I keep saying, I can't make enough bobbleheads. Y'all just that damn dumb. Goodbye.
That's our weekly contribution to the community safety. The Tommy's trying to protect the community as well.
Listen, he's right.
Thanks,
he's
Tom.
right, because guess what? They find a way to take away a voting right when you become a felon. So don't tell me that
Yeah,
the
but see,
Second
there you go
Amendment
again, making
right,
sense, Tressa. There you go, making sense again.
they legislate that. Stop it.
It's the people involved with the decision making. The people that we're relying on to protect us are relying on getting paid more than they're relying on protecting us.
Oh, that's true.
That's the problem.
That's true.
Right? It comes down to money. This is such a bigger problem, unfortunately, than the children who were brutally murdered. It's so much bigger than that. And nobody really wants to pay attention to the larger issue. I think I saw the mother of the murderer on television the other day. She was I think she was in a car or something, and I think she was apologizing and she felt bad. I couldn't even imagine if somehow or another my son lived a life that was so awful that he found it necessary to buy a gun, tear up my car too, by the way, and then roll up in a school and kill 19 children and 2 adults. I mean, how bad would you feel if your child did that?
Yeah.
What did you do to that child? What did you do to that child? What did the society do to that child who ended up doing that?
Agreed.
Right? And then you got the other children that he killed on top of that, and the children who were in school who survived that, and the teachers who were there to know that.
And that's a small community, so everybody knows everybody pretty much, for the most part. There's only 16,000 people in that little small town.
All because a small group of people gotta have their little stinking ass guns, and another group of people gotta have their money.
Yeah. There's something that can be done. I just don't know why they won't do it. Because like I said, they find a way to take away your voting right.
But this is so urgent that somebody who with authority, i.e. Biden, needs to kick over some damn furniture today.
I agree.
Forget
100%.
decorum and diplomacy and negotiations. Forget all that. Disrupt it. Don't care who you piss off.
Yep.
In fact, I would think that you would probably gain more people to support you if you did something like that than you would people.
Or levy a tax on them. You want a long gun? Fine. There's a $500 tax on it, in addition to what you're going to pay for it. Up that money.
But I don't know if he can do that. I don't know what he can do in that regard. But I know that he needs to have a really, really bold executive order that may borderline violating the law.
Yeah, the FAET, the Federal Arms Excise Tax, falls under the U.S. Department of Treasury. Hell yeah, he can do it.
Cool. Then do that then. But it's got to be something, and it's got to be today. It can't be tomorrow, because tomorrow they may shoot. Today they may shoot a bunch of people. Today somebody may be on their way to a grocery store somewhere to shoot a bunch of people. Today. It's got to happen today.
When they renegotiated and passed a new tax bill, they should have had that in there. We're going to add an excise tax to long guns. Yeah, no, I agree. They need to do something. And
today.
I'm done with the talking. Today. Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. Because at some point, they're going to have to deal with some parents.
So
and the parents is not going to take care of it the way they did.
No. So let me tell you something else now. Ready for this?
Did Jim never come back? What happened to Jim?
No, Jim, he actually went away. He may have dropped the line. I apologize. Jim, next time, man.
Go ahead. Listen,
so every time I talk to you, just a little more country. Just a little more. Little more.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you don't, because you're country now. You got real country. Because what you told me yesterday about working in the yard all day yesterday, that was a little country.
And hung a screen door.
Hung a screen door.
Yeah. Yeah. I have skills like that now. Yeah. I got power too. I got a power drill now.
You driving a pickup truck yet? You got a pickup truck?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
I'm saying, man, it's a little more country. We got to get that out. We got to shake that off you now. And when you come up here, don't get none of that on me either.
Listen, I need
don't be rubbing it off on me.
I need you and Rich to get that plan together to bust me up out of here, man. I'm telling you. Come get me.
You sound like you're settled in quite nicely there.
Well, I got to make it comfortable while I'm here finishing up my task. My task is not finished yet. I'm almost there, but it's just not done yet. Yeah, it's almost done.
Just a pinch more country. Just
a pinch.
Pinch more country every time.
A pinch.
Yeah, man, like he finna go mash a button or something. You just,
Well, I mean, if you really want me to drop that southern slang on you, I can.
I'm sure you're good at it. I'd rather not. I'm not sure I can translate it effectively at this point.
Nah, you probably wouldn't.
No, I can't.
But I love you, and thank you, Rich. I know you're out there listening because you love the show that much.
He's not listening.
He listening.
No. He and Ann are out at their little vacation house.
Is that what they doing?
They're out there playing grab ass. They ain't listening to us, man. Because he probably would have called if he was listening, right?
I love you, Rich.
He can't hear you. You got to call him later. He can't hear you.
He can hear me.
Can't.
I'm telling you.
You know what he's
doing. He's going to send me a text. He's going to send me a text and say, I heard you.
Watch. I bet you $1 you don't. Bet you.
I love you too, E. And please tell Miss Tiffany I said hello.
I can do that. Or you can come up here and tell her yourself.
I'm going to come. I'm going to come for a visit real soon. I promise.
Like when? Like when?
Yeah. Well, soon. Trust me, because I need a break.
I don't know what day that is. What day is soon?
I don't know. I'll text you. How about that?
I'm asking you right now. I'm not asking you to tell me later. What day?
I
got my calendar out right now. What day?
Family meeting, family. I love you guys. Thank you guys for all
what
the
day
continued prayers
are you coming up here, Shorty?
I'm not listening to you.
Clearly you're not. I'm trying to figure out what day you're coming up here, man.
I'm trying to say thank you to the listeners.
Don't worry about them. I'm talking to you. Y'all sit aside. This is grown folks talking over here.
Soon.
I don't know what day that is, Tressa. What day is that?
I'll text you.
Okay, what day of the week? Is it a Tuesday? Is it a Friday? What day of the week is it then?
It's probably going to be a Friday.
That's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours from my girl Shorty herself in Mississippi. Thanks for hanging out with me today, girl.
Oh, you're welcome, my love. You're welcome.
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
The preceding program, The Family Meeting, is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency and Eric Grant, and to the extent of its guests, the views and opinions reflected do not necessarily express the views and opinions of New Web Radio or its management.